Welcome back to Elisabeth Hogarth Designs. Today I would like to take a look at a new product range from Kanban Crafts. This has arrived late on a Friday afternoon, and apart from taking it out of its cellophane wrappers, I haven't had a look through it, but I thought we could do that together. So this is a brand called Strawberry Moon, and this particular range is called Cafe Society. So we're going to begin with some 12 by 12 double-sided papers. They're 180 GSM, and as you can see they come in a range of pastel, pinks and greens, and to a raspberry pink as well. So let's take a look at these pages. It's based on Cafe Society, so it's quite Parisian. You've got the ballet pumps and the old-fashioned typewriter, and it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of each of these designs. So we've got a pink ballet bike typewriter ensemble on the front, and if you flip it over you've got a pale pink harlequin design. We then have a set of rather fashionable young ladies, so this striped pattern is going to mix well with that harlequin design. And if we flip this one over, we've got a pale green, like an eau de Nil Baroque style pattern on the back. So these ladies look like they'll be good to cut out. This collection is looking like it will be quite good for younger ladies or people with a young mindset anyway, because I consider myself still to be young. And then we've got some tooth check in this very pale green, and a set of wedding cake images with the cake stand and the cake, so these will be nice to cut out as well. Put the pink one first so we can mix and match them a bit. Then this is a little bit more modern because you've got your drinks cup and your iced donuts. They look good enough to eat. That would be useful. This green, it's almost got like a mottled effect on it where it's been bleached. I'm going quite speedily because there's quite a bit in this set to run through. We've then got this zigzag, funky zigzag. Sorry if that's giving you a headache on the screen. And then a raspberry pink kind of effect. It's almost like a flattened glitter, if that makes sense. It's almost like all the sparkle's been taken out of it, but you've got the pattern that glitter gives you. And then I think we've got one more set of papers. Yes, that's it. So we've got fabulously cool dots and very romantic roses, and they look like they are photographs. They're so realistic. So there we go. You also have exactly the same, I believe, in 6x6 papers. So if you don't want to invest in the bigger set, then you could instantly take a piece of paper like that, put it onto a blank card front with a sentiment, and you've got yourself a really chic card. So that's all the same paper design again in the 6x6. We then have these really stylish sentiment cards. So we've got 24 sentiments, and again they're on 6x6 papers. So these are foiled in silver, and they're all based around lovely things that you would see in cafes. Calories don't count at the weekend, if only that were true. Sometimes you just need cake. Love is sweet, bake a treat. So we can die cut these out. You can either trim them down or you can die cut them out. So you've got 6 sheets, 4 of each of these sheets. So sweet as sugar, eat all the cake. So you can see where we're going with this, can't you? Then we've got your happy birthday and make a wish, so they'll come in handy. And then one last sheet, we've got hope your day is sweet, cake is always a good idea. So you can see how those will mix in with this colour palette. Let's move these out of the way quickly. Moving on, we've then got a set of postcards, and they say that there are 36 here, but there are plenty of designs. So again, I'll whisk through them quickly. So we've got the young lady who you can either have flat on a card or you can take some time to cut them out. She reminds me a little bit of Blondie. Probably showing my age there. We've then got the young lady who we saw on the paper in different poses. I'd like to wear that dress. And there's our Blondie girl again, so let's pop her over there. The sweet ballet pumps that we saw on the paper. A Chanel style bottle with a pair of groovy sunglasses. I like this one. This one will be nice with the sentiments. The wedding cake, which is a larger postcard in 2 styles. The old-fashioned telephone. I expect there's people now that don't even know that you used to use this to dial with, and you used to have to wait till the number went all the way round before you could begin again. An old-fashioned typewriter. So everything's in these pinks and greens. The drinks bottle with the fancy donut, and a rather romantic bike full of flowers. So I guess you've got 36 of those, so we can either cut them out by hand or we can use them layered up as they are. Also included within this kit are some really interesting vellums. So you've got 24 sheets of white vellum, and I'm hoping that this will catch on the camera if I bring that up. So it's extremely detailed. You can use both sides, but this is actually where it has been etched with the white ink. So that's almost like a wedding style Baroque pattern. Then we've got your classic floral pattern. So these will be nice as part of the background of your card or indeed your scrapbook page. This one's a little lacier. I don't know if you can see it better like that. There you go. You can see all the detailed lace pattern on there. And then we've got one more. You just pull this away. And again, you've almost got like a floral pattern. Very, very intricate. Very, very pretty. Reminds me of the, remember when we used to go into the cafes all that time ago, and they used to have the curtains up at the window and they would be halfway and you could only see, you could see out but you couldn't see in. We've then got these really cool sheets. They're almost like a padded quilt that has been embossed. So you've got it in a silver, in a holographic, again apologies if this is making your eyes go funny, and then we've got it in a simple white. So these will be great for bringing interest and dimension to your projects. And then last but not least, we've got a set of background stamps that are almost like French Parisian deco. So a little bit of everything. So it'll be interesting to see how these work against the vellum papers Excuse me. Yeah, those will work nicely together. Maybe you could take a piece of the vellum, a little piece of embossed stamping, and then add one of these postcards. We'll have a look. I will now go away and make up some cards and projects, and I'll show you them shortly. I woke up early this morning and I got cracking with the cards for the Strawberry Moon collection. So this is the very first card that I made. I'm going to show you them in the order that I made. There's no real rhyme or reason to it, but this is where I started because I wanted to work with this cake. So this is cut out from one of those A5 postcards, and then I've taken the 6x6 paper and laid a piece of vellum on it, and then I have mounted them both onto the pink card and a piece of silver mirror card, and I think it's ended up making quite a pretty card. That's one of the sentiments that I die cut with a square. I've just turned it into a diamond. But this, I still think, even though I made this first, is probably one of my favourite cards. I then moved on to a cute little easel card, and I think this collection is going to be good for younger ladies, simply because of the imagery that's inside there, and they're quite fresh colours. So here, these are all taken from those A5 cards again, just a matter of cutting them out, and then for a little bit of bling I've added some of that padded, can you see the padded mirror and a sentiment, and just layering it up and turning it into a corner easel card. Let's move this one over here. This is another easel card. I thought if I can make a corner one, I fancied working with the bicycle. So I turned this one into an easel as well, because I wanted to give the impression that the bike was moving. So this is slightly tilted upwards, but again, I've layered it up onto the backing paper and a piece of vellum. The vellum's really good for softening the colour. And then I've taken another piece to lay inside the card, and the sentiment acts as your stopper. I've also added some sparkle to the bike just to pretty it up a bit. I'd really like a bike like this, but we'll save that for another day. Then I made a handbag. So this is a matter of folding a piece of cardstock. I did add a magnet to the inside, so there's a magnet behind here, and then there's a magnet behind the piece of paper there, just so that they'll attach well together. So then you've got your little handles, which I've attached with a little gem. I've added a tag, and then when you open it up, you've got all the cookie paper inside along with the sentiments. And then you've got your little mounting fold for it to hold up. And there's your little handbag. This is an 8x8 card. It was a piece of black cardstock, and then I've taken the jazzy paper. That's the reason why I used the black, because I wanted to lift up these colours without making it too bright and bold. You've also got the discotheque quilted paper, and this card here reminds me of Nigella Lawson, the domestic goddess. So I put the baking queen in there, and then again I've cut out one of those bottle images, and if you look really carefully you can see that I've made a frame for the card, which I was using Elisabeth Crafts frame, and then Nigella herself has been cut out a few times, so she's got a few layers in there. So it's quite a glamorous card, I think. And then when you open it up, we followed through the theme by adding her inside as well, and one of the sentiments. Quite a big card, but it was fun to make. another large card. This is a tent card, so it will stand up this way. And again, I've taken the 12 by 12 papers this time, cut them down, the ones with the cycles and the ballet pumps on. Then I've taken the 6 by 6 paper as my layers, cut down the vellum as well, just to keep bringing in all of these textures. Cut out the sentiment, and I cut out the wibbly bit for the postage stamp effect. And again, you can just about see that I've cut out the pumps as well. So even though you think it's a simple card, there's layer and dimension to it. And the last thing that I finished it off with were some of the mulberry paper blossoms that you saw me make in one of my previous videos. I'll try and leave you the link if you want to know more about how to make those. And then of course finishing off the card inside with another piece of matching paper. These are really quick cards, so I'll show you these all at once. So these are using those background stamps. You've got your sentiments, and then fussy cutting out the imagery again. So you've got a love is sweet, bake a treat. Here's the other background stamp. So happy birthday to you. This is our funky card. Bit striking, this one. Another happy birthday to you. And then hope your day is sweet. So really straightforward card. So it's just a matter of inking the stamp really carefully. A stamping platform really helps because they are big stamps. You might have to go into them a couple of times. They're very good quality, but you might want to stamp them a little bit more than once. But yeah, they're all of the different designs, and those would make a good gift card set, wouldn't they, if you did the matching envelopes as well. But for television purposes, those will be just fine. I moved on to this card because I cut out the piece of paper where there were the strips of ladies, so I cut it down to using 2 of them. And again, I cut them out twice so that I could decoupage them up with some mini pads. I made my own toppers with the sentiments, and then I finished it off inside by repeating the patterns that you see. Last but not least, I thought I would try a few scrapbook layouts because you have got the 12 by 12 paper and the 6 by 6 paper. I haven't done scrapbooking before, but I do like layout. I do like trying this triangle of 3 and trying to lead your eye around the paper. So you've got your 12 by 12 paper, and then I've used elements of the larger strips as well as a landscape, and then I've made up a few tags to match the photograph. This is actually my daughter Claudette on her graduation day in Winchester. So that's daughter number 1. So I couldn't do daughter number 1 and then not my elder daughter Olivia. So this is on Olivia's graduation day at Bath Spa. But again, let's go back to the 12 by 12 paper. So this is the cake 12 by 12, and then I've used some of the paper that was on Claudie's background to match it in with here. And again, I've used the tags and then some extra strips. These sentiments are from Clarity Stamp, and I just thought that they would be appropriate for this type of layout. So I was quite getting into the mood of doing this, so I think probably I would take the time to print off some more photographs of very special days and try and understand a bit more about scrapbooking, but I think that will take me into a completely different path. So those are my 2 daughters. Because the set is quite girly, I left my son out on this particular occasion, but I did do a page for my parents. So these are my mum and my dad when they were courting, and I think my mum there was probably about my daughter's age. So yeah, very young, very reminiscent of the time. My dad's carrying his cameras, and he almost turned it into a little bit of a wedding page for them. So I took the wedding cake and again 2 layers of that just to add a little bit of interest, and then another tag. There is a story about my mum's wedding cake and what happened the night before her wedding, but that would be the sort of thing that if I were to do this again, I would probably write a little piece in here, so then my children know about the wedding cake story. So there you go. I've tried it, I enjoyed it, and I think these papers really do help you to lay out a really simple scrapbook page. The complete set of cards that I made. I believe that this particular collection will be launching on Create and Craft in the first week of April. I'm going to find it quite hard to give that card away. I'm going to have to replicate it, I think. Yes, I think the shows will be in the first week of April. I'll try and leave you as many details as I can below the video. I will leave photos of these on my social media, so please do take a look at my Pinterest boards, and also I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and no doubt I will pop something onto my blog as well. On my blog you'll see the photos, and then I try and add the links and then any other extra details that I may have talked about here. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you back here again soon. Bye for now.